It's Thursday, and that means it's a Keys to Victory Thursday as we are here. You can almost smell it, man. Texas going into Georgia. It's the you can't listen to sports talk radio anywhere in the nation without them highlighting this game, and everybody has their own opinions about, is Texas any good? Is Texas a true contender? Are they a pretender? What is going on with this Georgia team? Is this team a team that can go on to win a national championship? So there's so many questions that are maybe not going to be answered this week, but we're going to have a lot more information about these two teams after this week's game. We're going to talk about our keys to victory here for the Texas Longhorns. Before we get to that, let's go ahead and talk about our great sponsor, the Man Eye Institute. You can give them a phone call, 844-WOW-2020. 844-WOW-2020 is how you can get a hold of the Man Eye Institute anywhere in Central Texas. They are all over the place, guys. Locations everywhere. LASIK. It's the next level LASIK. It's not your grandfather's LASIK. It's the kind of LASIK that a true key to victory for the Texas Longhorns. Colin Simmons, he's not hunting down these quarterbacks like Alien versus Predator with bad vision. He went to Man Eye Institute to get his LASIK surgery, and of course, he would only get the best, the next level LASIK there at Man Eye Institute. Also, your cataracts. What is astigmatism?
I think that's Stephanie's uncle has that. He's got severe astigmatism.
So it's not like astigmatism. It's called astigmatism.
It's like a curve. It's like an imperfectly curved cornea, and it makes you have like blurred or distorted vision.
I think they can help with that too. Look, if it's vision, they can help you with it. Contacts, glasses, whatever it is. The Man Eye Institute, see life better. They are our sponsor. They're the reason that we can do the show. So see life better with the Man Eye Institute. And of course, eat better with the Alpha Seasoning. It's Cody and I's Elite Spice Blend. You can get it at alphaseasoning.com. Thanks to everybody for ordering. You've almost sold us out at this point. We're having to get a new order in. And the reason why is because people just keep ordering it. It's my favorite thing since we've launched the Alpha, Cody, is just seeing all the repeat customers. People will buy one bottle and they'll be once they're out, they're just like, what am I going to do without the Alpha? Because you literally put it on everything. Alphaseasoning.com is where you can get it. Trust us. We spent a year developing it. Alphaseasoning.com. Go check it out. And of course, if you're in the Austin area, go to Texas Beef Traders is where you can get it. You can also get it at Hudson's Meat Market, both on South Congress and in Marble Falls, whenever you're turning in your deer for processing. All right, Cody, keys to victory. What is your first one?
Keys to victory against Georgia. First and foremost, it's just more than anything to me, establishing a little bit of a run game. I think Josh Pate said this on the Bussin' show he does with them, the preview show. I didn't realize the number was this low, but he said that Texas has had 60 total rushing yards in each of the two games combined last year against Georgia. And we talk about it a little bit.
Did he pop the paper for that stat?
I think more than anything, there's very limited expectation that Texas is going to establish any type of run. And I'm going to die on this hill, I think, going into the weekend. I know we only got one show after this, but I'm going to die on this hill that this is going to be this offensive line. And I think a big part of the failures in the run game, which is not having a 100-yard rusher this year, is the fact that the inconsistencies of this offensive line. One week it's Stroh, it's NATO. 1 week it's, DJ's banged up and Cole Hudson's down. And it's just like constantly things moving around. Goosby's out for a couple plays. It's like just a bunch of stuff.
No, you haven't thrown in the biggest one, the whole Nick Brooks experiment.
Nick Brooks. So see what I'm saying? Like, I think more than anything, there's the inconsistency of who has been on the offensive line, not of the offensive line. It's that there's an inconsistency of having the same five dudes. And that is a massive part, as you know, because you watch it every week, of just vision and just being able to understand where your holes are going to be and whose butt you can run off of, et cetera, when you're Trey Wisner and CJ Baxter. And I think having the Vanderbilt game, the bye week, and Georgia week, 3 weeks behind the same offensive line going into Georgia against not a very powerful defensive line. It's a good run defense, but it's not the same old, it's not your brother's Georgia defense. From pass rush perspective, from run defense, it's good, but not great. I think you can create some hay in the run game. I think they will create some hay in the run game. I think Texas is going to run for over 100 yards. And I think one of these two guys is going to go to over 80 by themselves. Not sure which one it's going to be.
They do that.
The money would be on Wisner, but I wouldn't put it back past, the healthiest version of Baxter we've seen all year being the guy that does it and being like, whoa, there's CJ Baxter. So I'm going to go key to victory is establishing the run when nobody expects it.
Well, I mean, that's your key to victory, but you're also saying that you expect it. I mean, if you expect it and they get that done, I think they win the football game if they're rushing. If one of these guys gets to 80 yards, that means that they're getting it done virtually at will. We talked about it yesterday. It's like I just think if they can get it done in high leverage situations, I think that they'll be better off than they have been in a lot of these games. But boy, over 80 yards for one of these players, you should probably go over to Prize Picks and put in some wars. I think that Wisner what was he sitting at? 48, 44 and a half, 48 and a half, something like that. And I agree with what you say about the continuity along the offensive line, especially if you're going to be running a lot of the outside zone. And that's what they've been running. Whenever you have Connor Stroh in there and you have Nick Brooks in there and stuff like that, and you're trying to get these guys set up for these easy, just leverage down blocks, right? Like with Connor, you don't want him to be a dancing bear out there having to drive some guy to 45-degree zone angle off the line of scrimmage and, having to have elite lateral agility. He doesn't have it, so what do? Well, you give him in either an easy down block or you give the center an easy down block. You let him pull around and just go kick out the end man on the line of scrimmage on a power play or on a trap or whatever. They haven't been doing that as much. It's been zone. And whenever there's more continuity of the scheme and you've been working behind these guys, what Cody's saying is right, especially against the defensive front that could be giving you some motions and shifts pre-snap. It's just important for these guys to have some comfort with just some modicum of a comfort level with where their landmarks are in regards to what they're going to be doing with their cutback lanes. So, I mean, certainly, I think it's a major key to victory. I think the other one is just, as far as the offensive line, just handling double A gap pressure, right? Georgia does it really, really well. And it just happens to, double A gaps. For people who might not know what that is, those are just the two gaps on either side of the center, right? And that happens to be the area where Texas is most vulnerable right now. I mean, we've seen a good uptick since they've started putting Connor Robertson at center, and then with Cole Hudson at left guard in this last game, it looked really good. Was it a mirage? We're about to find out because it's about to be tested, right? I think that's my other offensive line take. As far as from what the Texas defense needs to do for what Texas needs to do defensively, it's like the opposite of what Cody said. What I don't think you can do is I don't think you can let Georgia find a run game, right? I don't think that you can let them find a run at will kind of run game, because if they do manage to do that, it likely means that they've gotten out to some kind of early lead. I don't like this Texas team's chances if they're made to be a one-dimensional team that doesn't have any balance, where everything's kind of put on Arch's back, to where the offensive line is not operating in a way to where, it's like Cody, you know how it is with these offensive line coaches will tell you, it's like to be able to keep these offensive linemen happy and get them in a groove, man, you've got to get some stuff going with the run game. It helps them with their rhythm, it helps with their timing, it helps them with everything. And so when you get into those pass pro situations, they go into them with more confidence. And if it's something where you're having to drop back every single time to try and stay in this football game, this feels like an offensive line to me that could be vulnerable in that kind of spot. And it feels like Arch Manning's a quarterback that maybe could struggle if that's the case. I don't think that they can be made to be one dimensional, and I think the number one thing the defense can do, just from an overall schematic standpoint, is just to not let them find the best version of their run game.
I'll bounce off of that and stay on defense for my next one, in that it's going to be big to get Jelani McDonald back and Michael Taft. Everybody knows that. But there's this guy on the other side that they call Yakariah Branch. Not Zachariah, but Yakariah, because he's number 3 in the sport in yards after catch right now. 8.2 yards after catch per reception. And I'm scrolling through the PFF missed tackles. I don't know. I don't have the deep dig pulled up. I don't know how to. We have to look at that, right? You probably can know it off heart, but PFF has these 4 guys as the leading missed tacklers on the roster: Ty Anthony Smith,
Can I
Jalen Gilbo, Grayson Littleton, and Leonga Lafau.
let me tell you who I have.
So they have Ty Anthony with 9,
Ty
Gilbo with
Anthony's
9,
Ty
Grayson with
Anthony's
8,
certainly the worst
and
tackler.
Lafau with 8.
Let's see. It's so the market master sheet is so missed tackles would be so I have Ty Anthony, Lafau, and then they have is it
Littleton.
Little yeah, so yeah, I have Littleton, Jelani, and Gilbo as the other 3
Okay.
tied.
So they have Gilbo in there. So here's the deal. My thought process here is just that limiting yak. You have to wrap up. You have to tackle. They haven't tackled well the last few games against some of these bigger players like Stowers against Vanderbilt and downfield. And in a game like this against Zachariah Branch, a guy that Texas fans wanted Texas to go get. We wanted Texas to go get.
Gosh.
But he was a big dollar guy coming out of USC. He's a stud, right? He's a punt return stud. He's a gadget stud. He's the closest thing that I've seen visually to Tyreek Hill from the, when I say rubber ligament perspective, which is a guy that can just change directions at full speed at the tilt and can change a game. And he can do that. And when you see things I've seen the last couple of games from Texas, the last 4 games when they've got into SEC play, is drives where there's no Anthony Hill on the field, and it's Ty Anthony and Lafau or whatever it is. And those are the 2 players that are on this list of top 4 guys in missed tackles on the team. And you have a Zachariah Branch coming across the middle of the field, or you have a freshman in Littleton out there, or a Gilbo who are leading the team in missed tackles. Tackling in this game is going to be ever so important, and short game, and just keeping guys at the line of scrimmage or behind the line of scrimmage, and not allowing those screens that Texas uses on offense to Ryan Wingo and DeAndre Moore. The same thing that Georgia is going to do with Zachariah Branch, not allowing those 2 and 3 yard or throws behind the line of scrimmage become 8 and 18-yard receptions.
Yeah. They can it's almost like if they it's like with Branch, it's almost like if they do struggle to get the run game going, it could be one of these things where I could see them resorting to the same thing that Texas might do if they can't get the run game going, and that's of course just throwing it out on a play that's basically just an elongated handoff to Wingo. You can do that same thing to Zachariah. You can do that same thing to Zachariah Branch. You can also always go to Texas Beef Traders. We're going to be at Texas Beef Traders on a week from tomorrow for a live show at Texas Beef Traders. We're probably going to be out on the porch. It should be great weather. We'll have free beer for anybody that wants to come. Maybe Money B will show up again. But yeah, man, we're going to have live shows on Fridays. We're going to do a live show tomorrow. We're going to start doing live shows on Fridays here for a little while, see how guys like it, see if you guys enjoy those, because we definitely miss hanging out with the chat and stuff like that. So make sure to tune in tomorrow. We'll have a live show, and then we'll be live from Texas Beef Traders on Friday. The week after that, we will not be live because that's the A&M game, and I will be hunting. And I don't get internet service when I'm hunting. And by that time of night, 6 p.m., might have already had a couple of cocktails and not be quite fit for the old internet streams. So Texas Beef Traders, go check them out. Oh, make sure to go see Darren. Go see Thomas. You get 10% off whenever you mention that you heard about them here on Football with Friends on the Orange Bloods Live channel. They're super cool dudes. They'll cook you up some food. They'll give you a beer, whatever. It's just a fun place to go hang, man. It's my favorite spot in the world. Texas Beef Traders. All right. And the live show is next week, and we'll start promoting that next week, but I want to get it out there now. My next key to victory is I've had it written down. And it's the same. It's about Branch, but I said don't let Ryan nibble at you. in the return game. That would be a back-breaking thing to happen, Cody. They've been really good. You know, that's the good thing about having the we talked about it yesterday about the fact that, man, Texas has these young stud DBs, right? But they're just not ready to be prime time, playing with the starting secondary right now. So we don't want to see Phil Simi and Jonah Williams and Kobe Black and Cade Phillips and these guys just come in on a random third series of the game versus Georgia. It can't happen. That's how Texas is giving up their coverage burns. It's because of these guys, right? 60% of their coverage burns have come from backups who've played like 1/3 of the snaps as the starters. But the good part about having those guys on your roster is that you can put them on teams, and it's not to belittle the job that the teams do, but it's a little bit of an easier assignment. And if what you're looking for is, dynamism, speed, just being able to get your head across the bow, tackle somebody, get into your spot, they've been good with it. But you gotta really, man, you gotta really try and hone in on Zachariah Branch. I mean, that's Bowmeister too. Just see if you get that dude just to kind of kick it in a way where he does some kind of Australian flutter out of the. I can't pretend to know what they do with punts, but haven't put some Aussie magic on that, right? Put a little magic dust like the alpha seasoning on there, where it just kind of bounces out of bounds or something. It just doesn't get to Branch. But I don't want to see, I wouldn't want to see Zachariah Branch returning any kind of, giving him a returnable punt. Like, there's no reason to give him a returnable punt.
Mm-hmm.
We make fun of other teams for kicking to nibble it. There have been times where you're like, why did you do that? You're like, Levy, what did you just do, man? Why did you just do that? Like, everybody in the stadium was saying, don't kick it to the guy. Like, before the games even started, I'm saying, just don't kick it to Branch. Like, there's no reason to. Just try and play keep away.
9 punts over the last 2 weeks against Mississippi State and Vanderbilt. 0 punt returns. 5 fair catches. There was 3 punt returns against Kentucky for 9 yards. 1 against Oklahoma for 13. 1 against Florida for 3. And none against Ohio State. So 5 returns in 6 Power 4 games this year. He's got a great hang time, 4 to 4.3. Had a game with 3.3 against Oklahoma, but he still did good. But, 17 punts the last 3 games, only 3 returned for 9 yards. They just got to keep on that track on. And you haven't heard much from Bowmeister because he's just doing his job. And if he does it in this game, hopefully Branch is quiet as well.
Two other things. Win the turnover battle. You got to win the middle 8, right? Yep. Like when Texas wins the middle 8, I don't want to go through it all again. But when Texas controls the middle 8, good things always happen. The middle 8's the time of possession and effectiveness during the last 4 minutes of the second quarter and the first 4 minutes of the third quarter. Very important just to win that. And then I would say, Cody, the other thing, they're probably going to miss some tackles. How many missed tackles is appropriate? You'd say after this many, that's too many missed tackles. And after this many, that's too many coverage burns.
In the game for Texas?
Yeah.
If you miss more than I don't know, I'd say 4.5, 5 missed tackles is too many.
I said 6. If you look at it, 6 missed tackles is a pretty good game. And I also just think, man, you would prefer no coverage burns, right? You prefer no coverage burns, but like, if you get, I think you can get away with maybe giving up 1, right? But the good news is, like we talked about earlier, what we're hoping in a big game like this, Texas is not going to be using it as an opportunity to develop their young DBs, and that hopefully, for once, that Texas has this gift of all their starting secondary being healthy. And I think that they're getting tired of hearing this narrative that they're like the 94th secondary in the nation. They're so much better than that. It's time for them to go in. It's time for them to go in and dominate. Dude, I think it's probably fine if you give up one coverage burn, but if you're asking me if I think they will, I kind of don't think that they will.